Why did top pastors leave Daystar suddenly? And what's really going on inside Joni Lamb's church network? If you tuned to Daystar TV recently, you'd have noticed something strange. Major pastors like Laurie and Jack Hibbs are missing from the lineup. No statements, no drama. Just gone. Behind the scenes, this isn't about normal season changes. It's part of a growing boom of high-profile exits. That's right, 24 ministries in total have pulled their shows from Daystar recently, including Joyce Meyer, Jesse Duplantis, Lance Wallnau, Jack Graham, and more. Why did they leave? Because Daystar has become deeply scandal-plagued. In late 2024, Joni Lamb's son Jonathan Lamb and his wife Susie made shocking claims. They said a child in their family was sexually abused by a Daystar employee, and that the network leadership, including Joni and Marcus Lamb, tried to keep it quiet. That bombshell rocked Daystar's image and prompted real consequences. Police in Colleyville opened a probe, and although no charges were filed yet, the case is ongoing. Many major ministries stopped airing on Daystar, citing ethical concerns. Now, fast forward to June 2025. Even more leading voices are calling it quits. Laurie of Harvest Christian Fellowship and star of Jesus Revolution fame pulled his show. Jack Hibbs from Calvary Chapel Chino Hills did the same. Even a Canadian program officially left, pointing to ethical deficits at Daystar, and specifically the cover-up claims. This isn't about scheduling changes. It's a mass exodus sparked by scandal. Ministries across the globe are asking, what is Daystar hiding? How deep did the abuse cover-up go? The pattern is clear. Family accusation, police investigation 3. High-profile departures 4. More ministries jumping ship. But Google searches show viewers have even more questions. What did Joni Lamb know? When did the network find out? Did they protect someone important? Those are the exact questions we're diving into. For years, Daystar presented itself as a voice of Christian hope, healing, and bold truth. But in late 2024, something happened that even their biggest supporters couldn't ignore. And it didn't come from outsiders. It came from within Joni Lamb's own family. Marcus and Joni Lamb's son Jonathan and his wife Susie made a public statement that shocked the Christian world. They claimed that a young child in the Lamb family had been sexually abused by a trusted Daystar employee, someone who had been with the ministry for years and who was even related to the family. At first, many viewers didn't know what to think. Daystar didn't say much. Joni was silent. There were no press releases, no special broadcasts, no transparency. But then Susie Lamb made the allegations very clear in a personal message online. They were told not to go to the police. According to her, the leadership at Daystar, including Joni, had urged them to handle things internally and even discouraged them from taking the case to authorities. Let that sink in. A child is abused. A family is broken. And instead of seeking justice in full daylight, they were allegedly pushed toward silence. The Colleyville Police Department did eventually investigate. But as time passed, the case was quietly closed. Police said there wasn't enough to file charges yet. The victim, still young, wasn't ready to testify. But even then, investigators said the case could be reopened in the future if new evidence or statements came forward. But to the public? That sounded like a cover-up. And ministries across the country started pulling their shows fast. What started as a single story turned into a landslide. At least 24 ministers, pastors, and Christian organizations began pulling out of Daystar, many of them with no warning, no explanation, just gone. And we're not talking small names here. We're talking about people like Joyce Meyer, Jesse Duplantis, Lance Wallnau, Jack Graham, even international broadcasters from Canada. These weren't critics. These were Daystar regulars, longtime friends of the network. Many of them said they were stepping away because they couldn't continue supporting a network with unresolved ethical issues. Some cited serious moral concerns. Others said they simply couldn't stay silent anymore. And then, in June 2025, it got even worse. Two of the most widely known pastors in America, Laurie and Jack Hibbs, suddenly vanished from Daystar's programming schedule. Their departure wasn't just a random drop. It was strategic, intentional, and timed during the worst press storm Daystar had ever seen. Now the Christian world was paying attention. Because when heavyweights like Laurie and Hibbs walk away, it signals one thing. Something serious is happening behind the curtain. And it can't be ignored anymore. Despite all this, Daystar's leadership downplayed the chaos. They said everything was fine. That the changes were part of routine programming cycles. But viewers weren't buying it. Neither were ministries. Because these exits weren't staggered. They were stacked, one after the other, and all within a few months of the abuse allegations being made public. It became clear, this wasn't a media cycle. This was a crisis of trust. And it was no longer just about one abuse claim. It was about how the leadership responded. It was about whether people in power chose to protect a reputation, instead of a child. So the question hanging in the air was simple, but devastating. If the people running Daystar couldn't be trusted to tell the truth about what happened to their own family, what else were they hiding? When the abuse claims went public, Joni Lamb didn't speak immediately. Her reaction was silence. No press conference. No heartfelt message. Just quiet. To millions of viewers, that silence felt strange. Especially because Daystar pastors are known for candid responses, calling viewers together, prayer lines opening, public affirmations of healing. But not this time. Instead, Joni stayed quiet. The network ran reruns. Program after program brought no updates. No signs of accountability or real-time leadership. Slowly, the void began to fill with rumors. People close to the network shared how quickly Joni and Daystar pivoted, seeming less concerned with healing a ministry and more focused on reorganizing power behind the scenes. Behind closed doors. Jonathan Lamb, the son who made the claims, was suddenly, and quietly, removed from his leadership role. His wife, Susie, also exited without explanation. Staff who supported Jonathan began leaving. Many believe they were pressured into silence or forced out. Within 6 months, Daystar's leadership had entirely changed. Those who supported Laura's statement about accountability were gone, and those loyal to Joni were rising. Meanwhile, public communications shifted toward messages of unity and moving forward. But for insiders, the language suggested a deep transformation, a shift from family-led ministry to Joni-led leadership. Whispers spread. Did Joni see this as her moment? Consider her timing. Marcus died suddenly in late 2021. Joni remarried Dr. Doug Weiss in 2023, a figure from a trusted counseling circle. Now, with the scandal breaking, she had the network's full attention. Listeners began to question if there was a secret timeline, one shaped by grief, ambition, and a chance to reclaim another form of power. On air, Joni claimed nothing beyond concern and love for the family. She said Daystar would be transparent and strong in support, but didn't detail specific steps. Promises remained vague. At the same time, internal moves became clear. Board positions realigned. Staff controlling finances became loyal to Joni and Doug. Programming began favoring guests aligned with their theology. Strategic language emphasized moving forward, new season, and God's restoration. The picture that emerged, a ministry transformed in silence with Joni at the center. Across the internet and comment pages, regular viewers reacted. She killed off the accountability team. Now the empire is hers. So much for protecting the victim. The tensions became louder in churches. Members who supported Jonathan felt silenced. Families divided. And Daystar continued broadcasting without official mention of those who left, or why. One insider captured it. It became clear Joni wasn't just repairing what was broken. She was rebuilding it around her. So the central question deepens. Is Daystar still a church for all? Or now only a platform for Joni and her allies? The fallout from the scandal is still shaping Daystar's future. With key pastors like Laurie and Joyce Meyer now gone, the network is left to rebuild around a new identity. What's changing on air? Fewer guest preachers, more in-house voices. Many programs now feature Joni and Doug personally delivering sermons and testimony, moving away from the outside voices that once defined their lineup. Shifted messaging from hopeful restoration to leadership assurance, with repeated phrases like, God is in control, and we're moving forward together. The tone is not about healing a breach but owning power. Consistent scheduling, minimal transparency. Viewers asking about the abuse case or Jonathan's firing are met with vague phrases like, for the sake of unity, or directed to our leadership team. Those questions rarely make it on air or social media. Behind the screen, staff tell a different story. Even years-long employees have said morale is low. People feel connected to a legacy, Marcus's legacy, but excluded from the new direction. Fans are noticing online. One viewer wrote, "What do we do when our voice gets edited out?" Another asked, "Can we even trust what Daystar says anymore?" These concerns go beyond TV, they touch on core gospel values. If truth and justice are sidelined, if silencing family voices is okay, if power is prioritized over people, it raises the ultimate question: what kind of ministry is being built now? This story isn't just for insiders, it's for you. If you've supported Daystar, it's time to ask, do you trust their message? Are you okay with silence from the top? Is this the future of Christian media you want to support? Because every platform that loses its integrity loses its voice. And right now, Daystar's voice is shifting, in a way that could change the faith world forever. If you agree it's time for accountability, say something. Share this video. Comment your thoughts. And let's bring clarity to a story that started with abuse, only to be buried under power and silence.